Alright, I believe I'm live, and I'm assuming that I'm going to have... Okay, maybe now. I am live. I believe I'm assuming at least that there's not going to be anybody up. It's 3:05 in the a.m. And, yeah, I guess I was really just kind of hoping I would have this time to explain what I wanted to explain without too much interruption from the chat, just because, yeah, I'm exhausted, guys. 3 a.m. and probably should have prepared myself a little bit better. But, okay, so you already see what this is about. This is about the latest episode, the season finale of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. So I took some notes. I watched it late. Sorry, guys. Sometimes even Professor Bill has to sleep. And tomorrow is comic book day. And frickin' Lavoie, man. Are you serious? Do you ever sleep? Did you watch the episode? That's my question, man. Okay, so beginning this off, Radcliffe finding yo-yo. Finding yo-yos. I think that was actually really cool. I dug doing that. I love seeing Radcliffe getting different yo-yos as his message in there. How awesome would that be, man, that they were actually able to set up the framework like that so they could send things inside there? Like, why didn't they send machine guns in there too? And whatever, zappers, put them in people's pockets. All right, so Ghost Rider is back. Holy crap, that was insane. I knew he was coming back, obviously. I knew it a couple weeks in advance, knew it from the cameo in last episode, but yeah, coming back like that, I've got so much to talk about with Ghost Rider. Him saying, first off, that Earth is in a war. It's part of a much larger war. It's been going on for a while. And the idea that dimensions and planets and space, it's all relative. And it's all a version of hell depending on your perspective of it. There's so much cool coming up with that. You know they're not going to just let that drop, right? Oh, man. And all I'm saying is, I want you to think Doctor Strange, because things are about to get really crazy. Okay. Talbot getting shot by the fake Daisy. Wow. As much as I enjoy seeing Talbot in this, Lavoie is not responding. I was kind of hoping he'd tell me if the voice was okay or whatever. Anyway, what do you call it? So, okay, yeah, as much as I like Talbot being in this, he is annoying. I almost hope that he really is gone. At the same time, he does provide a lot. He really does. As much as, he gets annoying to people, he really does provide a lot. Plus, if they ever do get around to doing a crossover, seeing William Hurt as General Ross and having General Talbot there also, I think that's going to make for some really good TV. At the very least, it'll make for a really good scene, Oh, yeah, I actually used to work for you once. Oh, yeah. Remember we used to go after the Hulk together? Just something like that would, I think, be fantastic. Okay. Oh, geez. I got to go back into the Ghost Rider just a little bit here. When Ghost Rider showed up behind Ada and the fake LMD of Daisy, why did he attack the fake Daisy as opposed to attacking the Ada that can teleport away from you? Just a little bit of forethought on there. Maybe get them both. I mean, if your chain only wraps around one person at a time, go for Ada. But if not, try and get them both. I mean, just that was a big, duh to me. That was the one thing that I just couldn't have suspension of disbelief in. Ghost Rider Daisy combo. Okay, I want to see that in a video game. I genuinely want to see, like, if you saw that part on there where you had Daisy and Ghost Rider, and they did that quick little tag team move where he grabs that one LMD of Zack and picks him up and spins him around, and he's got the hellfire going, and then Daisy just comes up behind, over top when he ducks down and blasts him with the quake attack. That was cool. That was cool. I want to see that as a move combo. I remember what was the name of that game? It was a really popular game I played back in the day. I played on Xbox, and you could have all these different Marvel characters, and you bought them, and they did this. That really sucks that I can't remember that one. But when they released part 2, the cool part was that you could actually do combos with some of the move. I never finished that game, but all the characters had some kind of combo moves that you could figure out if you played the game enough. Okay, so Coulson May. Agent Coulson and May. Their relationship, guys, I know that I and several of us have talked about how, no, we've got to keep May at the status quo. I'm going to change my mind now. I'm totally changing my mind now. Seeing how she reacted to him and telling him what he did, telling her what he did tell her, what little bit, I really kind of want to see these two get together. I think that would be really cool. In the meantime, yeah, I don't see what would be so wrong with seeing them get together. I don't think it's going to take away from her at all. She's still going to be tough. She's still going to not want to give anything in the relationship, like give any power to him in the relationship necessarily, but she does anyway in her own little way. I don't see why she couldn't pull that off. Ghost Rider and Coulson. What did I do? Man, I don't know what this deal was that they made with each other. My recommendation, my suggestion here, I actually put this on here separately, was I think that because he was resurrected, Coulson was resurrected, I think that there's something inside him, not just the Kree alien thing, not just all that crazy stuff. No. I believe that there's something else inside of him, that he was resurrected. If you remember Just Kill Me, all that, crazy stuff from, was that season 1? I think it was season 2. When, the whole it's a magical place thing. I think that that's going to have something to do with the whole deal that the Ghost Rider made. Because that's pretty interesting. The idea that he was able to take the Ghost Rider for a little while and then give it back, that was cool. Because if you remember, the Robbie had to make one hell of a deal to get the Ghost Rider back from Mac. So, I don't know, man. Yo-Yo and Mac were too rushed. Yes, that was a note that I put, and I genuinely feel that way. I feel that Yo-Yo and Mac together, the way that they were, it was just rushed. It was crazy rushed. And there was no... I couldn't feel it, Like, there's his daughter. I did like the way that they had his daughter just disappear in his arms that way. It was really sad. I knew I think everybody saw the angle that they were taking, and they knew that that's what was going to happen. But it didn't hurt any less. It didn't hit any less hard when it happened, Like if Mike Tyson in his prime is about to hit you in the teeth, man, you could see it coming. It ain't gonna help, So, yeah, that it was powerful. But having Yo-Yo like that, oh wow, this really is one heck of a delay. Marvel vs. Capcom, no, that wasn't the one I was thinking about, but Lavoyer talking here. That tag team would be so sick as a combo. Yeah, it was before there was actually a Marvel vs. Capcom. And I wish I could remember the name of the game. I would love to get a hold of that game again. I have a PS3 that I only use for Netflix, but and playing DVDs and Blu-rays, once in a while for the kids. But yeah, for the most part, I could play a video game on there, right? Why not? So, anyway, yeah, I don't know, man. I just feel like Mac and, Yo-Yo's never in the darn show. For crying out loud. She's in, how many episodes is she in per season? 4? You know what I'm saying? I just don't feel that their relationship is strong enough that they've given us for her to be able to go in there and pull him out. You know what I'm saying? And talk him down from just staying in there. That wasn't very believable to me. It's a nice try, but no. I just don't think it was good enough. They need to have Yo-Yo in the episodes more often. Okay, using Daisy to fix Fitz with a speech was actually pretty cool. Okay, so I remember the big thing that a lot of us were talking about in the chat was, in the comments in the video later on, was that, yeah, how is Fitz ever going to go back to normal, And they did pull that off in here. They always kind of left it that, for the past 2 episodes, that, yeah, it's going to be a long process. And it may still be a long process. I hope that they don't just gloss over it, because that was something there, that actually meant something. But more specifically, the idea that they were able to at least to quell the whole topic of discussion there. He's like, I'm going to stay behind and things like that. Having Daisy do that speech was really good. All right, she is a fantastic actress. Having her give that speech about how I left and I dyed my hair and I changed everything about me, and you were the one who talked me back, and what an idiot I was, and I know it's not going to work for you, and we just have to move on. We all had to deal with something different in the framework. That worked well. Having the little circle, what I'm going to say next. I'm not going to say it though. You know what I'm thinking. Having the little circle where everybody else is sitting there, adding in their 2 cents. Even Gemma in this particular regard. Nah, I don't think it was really necessary. I don't think it was necessary at all. And it didn't help. I think it actually detracted from the speech. It would have been cool if Daisy were alone with Fitz and said, listen, whatever you got to work out with Gemma is something you got to work out with Gemma. But for right now, you working out with the team, that's not even, put Gemma on the back burner. But us, that's cooked, it's done, it's served. We've already finished the meal, and we're on to dessert. So, don't worry about the whole what you did in the framework thing, all right? Let that go. I think that would have been a better take instead of being in the room and having a little powwow. After that, Winper, I don't know what the heck I was writing there. It is after 3 a.m, so I don't know what I wrote there. Anyway, next season, going to have a lot of mysticism in the next season, or at least they have the potential to have a lot of mysticism. Here's the thing that I find really cool about this. They have the potential to have a lot of mysticism in the next season, but I'm recommending that they do it as an overlay. Okay? Just like Ghost Rider was really big in the first 8 episodes, and then they moved on to other things and had him as more of a backdrop. The Darkhold is clearly magical, but they turned it into something more technical. I love that they did that. That was perfect. As far as I'm concerned, that was absolutely beautiful. But then later on, they came back to the whole mysticism part, like specifically in this episode. I like that the idea that they still have the opportunity to do that because of what they showed afterwards. Now, here's the thing. That portal that Ghost Rider made, you tell me that didn't look exactly like a sling ring. Am I right or am I wrong? He opened up a new world. Because I was, at first I was focused on, okay, look, he's doing this really cool thing. Look at this, this world that he just opened. But on top of that, think about Doctor Strange, the movie Doctor Strange. They had the sling rings. He would hold up the ring in some way. I forget how he held up the ring, and then he started doing this thing. And then, all of them, and they would open up a portal. It looked exactly like that, and they would jump through. That's what he did here with the Hellfire chain. Just, and then walked right through it. That was awesome. That was totally awesome. So he just he has his own little sling ring here. Look at the way that tied in. So now, where's he going with this thing? Where's he going with this Darkhold? Maybe he's going to go and visit Wong. Maybe he's going to go and visit Wong and be like, hey, man, here you have a book missing from the library. Here you go. It's yours. You're welcome. I think that'd be awesome. So the way they tied that in is great. So having the mysticism overlay, I think, is really cool. Now, here's something. Why as a backdrop? Why as an overlay as opposed to the main story? Well, did you see that ending? When they're all in there like, oh, wow, you got us. Hey, cool, whatever. And that one dude showed up. We don't know who that one dude is. And what do you call it? Then you had, for crying out loud, you had the guy showed up, the bald guy. He looked like something out of Hitman, right? And he had that little thing. He boop, and everybody froze except for the soldiers. Didn't that look like something that Obadiah Stane used in Iron Man episode 1, the first Iron Man movie? So that paralysis device, boop, that's your guys' biggest weakness is technology. Yeah. Hello. I'm pretty sure that's exactly the device that they used here. So what a way to tie this in to some of the lost war tech of Tony Stark. I think that's really cool. Personally, I think that's very cool. So being able to pull that off, and then all of a sudden they're in space. Now, I understand why they didn't do it in this particular episode, because it would have been, a casting issue. But I think it'd be really cool if all of a sudden they had some girl, like maybe the second episode, they had some girl who's in charge of this space station that they're in. Excuse me, and you realize that the girl has all green hair. You know it. I'm talking about Abigail Brand, the head of S.H.I.E.L.D. Now, there's S.H.I.E.L.D., all right? They're down to Earth and they do all their thing and they're international. They do whatever they're going to do. But there's also S.W.O.R.D., which is in space. It's basically S.H.I.E.L.D., but in space, protecting the Earth against, or at the very least, being an early warning system for space invasion, you know, and all the crazy things that can happen up there. Hello. Now, the only thing I see potentially stopping S.W.O.R.D. from, or Abigail Brand, S.W.O.R.D., they have no problem with S.W.O.R.D. being there. There's no issue with S.W.O.R.D. being in the Marvel Universe. But Abigail Brand specifically, it was later on revealed that she was a mutant. So if they can just change that, because they've done that with a few people. Abigail Brand was introduced, and then later on it was said that she's a mutant because her mother is actually, her father's an alien. I didn't go and do my homework really quick. I just right away as soon as I finished watching this episode. One of her parents is an alien, and that alien is a mutant. All right, I think it's her father. I can't remember. Anyway, so bang, there's that. I think that'd be cool to introduce S.W.O.R.D. into this. That this was something that Talbot was working on. You know, what a great way to bring Talbot back in that particular regard. You know, this is something that he was working on without him knowing about, without Agent Coulson knowing about it. I think that's awesome. This way, he's not really in charge because he doesn't really look like a prisoner on there. I know he says back to work, but I don't think that he was really a prisoner on there necessarily. He was more like, okay, you guys at S.H.I.E.L.D., you screwed up big time, so now we got to reassign you, okay? And let's show you the bigger picture at this particular point. I think it'd be great if they could pull off having Abigail Brand on there because she's a really awesome, badass character. Forget about it. You know what I'm saying? She's about as badass as they come. And it would be really cool for the show in and of itself. And that's actually pretty much everything I got. I handled the Ghost Rider thing I wanted to talk about earlier. So, guys, I'm going to wrap this up. I really loved this episode. I have a lot of things to do to set up for new comic book day stuff. Tomorrow is new comic book day. Technically, in a couple hours, the comic book store is going to open up. I have to set up all my new comic book stuff and whatnot. And more importantly, as a gift for today, every Tuesday and Saturday, I put up a Explained in a Minute, Hero Explained in a Minute video. So I take approximately a minute, sometimes up to 2 minutes, and I explain a character. It may go over 2 minutes if it's two characters in one. And I explain Daisy Johnson. So if you go to my channel earlier today, it should be linked already. That and I could put it in the description also. Daisy Johnson, Quake, Explained in a Minute. So you can get her comic book history more specifically. All right. Anyway, guys, thanks for showing up. Professor Bill, Comic Book University. Comments below. And class dismissed.